Yo everyone, it's Darmin and welcome back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. In the last video, I tried to farm using the Guardian Bow strats, and I did okay against a level 30 and did really bad against a level 40 Kaiba. And in today's video, we are definitely going to be talking about all the best cards in the game. Ones you can get from Legendary Duelists, ones you can get from the Trader, and the ones you can open up in the packs. And then a little bit of whatever cards I feel like I want to talk about, you know. We'll see. I do want to say that I have done a video on this before of all three except for the Trader. You can go check those out. They're on my channel, and I may remember, if I remember, to put them in the description. But someone asked, I want a video with every single card that's good right now. So I thought, okay, let's do it. Let's talk about stuff. So last time I went over level 30 cards. I'm just going to go straight to level 40 Legendary Duelists. I mean, that's what you want, right? You want SRs, you want some Rs, mostly you want URs. So of course, Dark Magician. I've already told you, this card, if you're using a Dark Duelist deck like with Yugi and you have Yami on the field, he's already getting a lot of power. So of course, he's 7 stars, don't remind me, I know he's 7 stars and not 8 stars. You have Catapult Turtle, which someone did remind me, it took me a while to remember, he causes effect damage. So if you need to deal some effect damage, there you go. Catapult Turtle, totally worth it. If you're going to use a fusion deck, Chimera the Flying Mystical Beast. Mythical? Mythical. You get the words right, Darmin. Come on. He's good. He's pretty alright. I would say I'm not much of a fusion monster user, but I can admit he's a pretty good fusion monster because you can, once he's destroyed, you can summon another card from the graveyard. Now, Mystic Box. Okay, we're getting Mythic and Mystic right one after the other. Can't do it. I can't word it right. The Mystic Box targets one monster your opponent controls, destroys them, and then you give them your monster. Now, maybe you have a really weak, I don't know, you could use your Stray Lamb. There you go. It's got 0 attack, 0 defense. You can just immediately wipe him out, one of their monsters, and then give him a monster that's almost completely useless. I skipped over one because I'm a big old dingus, but Diffusion Wave Motion, if you have maybe Dark Magician, that's the only level 7 spellcaster that really comes to mind right now. I don't even know if there's other level 7 spellcasters yet. Spellcaster type monsters, so there might be other ones, but none come to mind. This is pretty good. It costs life points, which I'm not a real big fan of. But basically, it just destroys each one of their monsters. It must attack. Oh, I misread it. Only that monster can check and attacks every monster all in one quick sweep. You get rid of 3 monsters, maybe. Dark Magician just takes them all out. I had someone ask, like, how do I get Gaia the Fierce Knight? Level 40 is okay. As you can see, I have 4 of them. But because it takes 2 cards to tribute to summon them, I wouldn't recommend Gaia the Fierce Knight. Maybe I would wait until they have the fusion for Curse of Dragon and Gaia the Fierce Knight. What was it called? I can't remember. Gaia the Fierce. Honestly, it's been so long since I've watched the anime. And then I did talk about Thousand Knives. If you have Dark Magician, just destroys a monster. Pretty good. Pretty simple. Next we have Kaiba. Obviously, it's Kaiba. He's got the most powerful cards. Just Blue Eyes White Dragon. You know, if you're using Ultimate Blue Eyes Dragon of White, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, you do need 3 or 1 card that does substitute for the 3rd Blue Eyes, which I think there's only 2 right now in the game. I'll try and find it because I do think I have one. Battle Ox, basically Axe Raider, only a Beast Warrior. Totally fine. 1700 attack, super useful. The Wing Beat of a Giant Dragon. If you need to get a quick wipe of your opponent's spell or trap cards, this is the card for you, especially if you're using one with dragons. And of course, everyone's favorite enemy controller. You can just switch as you can read. You know, when I did this the first time, all I did was read off the descriptions. I feel like I'm doing that again. You're turning your opponent's monster from attack to defense or defense to attack, whichever benefits you. Or you can take control of that target for 1 turn if you tribute someone. Pretty useful. And of course you have the Flute of Summoning Dragon. If you have Lord of D, super useful because you can just immediately super summon, special summon. Like maybe you got 2 Blue Eyes just waiting in your hand and you have a Lord of the D. There you go. You got 2 Blue Eyes of White Dragons on the field. I have a conflicting issue with Time Wizard because he can either be the best or worst for you. It depends on your luck. Maybe you have a high luck stat. Maybe you're just going to wipe the field. Basically, you call heads or tails. If you get it right, it wipes the field. If you call it wrong, you wipe your own field, and probably you're going to lose. I would use Time Wizard as a last-ditch effort, going in with the fact, knowing that you may lose because you rolled wrong. You flipped the wrong coin. Metal Morph, we went over in the last video. He definitely is super useful. It gives you 300 attack, and then half of your opponent's monster that you are attacking goes straight onto you. Super, super handy. Sword and Shield, I just got it for the first time maybe a couple days ago, and I've kind of used it. I've kind of tested it. It really does not have a place on my deck or much of PvE. It's okay if you're in PvP and your opponent has maybe a big shield Gardna. But other than that, it's really, really tough. And even then, Big Shield Gardna, it's still going to be in defense mode, so you don't really want to. You could destroy it to get rid of it, but it's not that handy. Graceful Dice gives you 100 to 600 attack and defense. And conversely, Skull Dice, 100 to 600 attack or defense lowered on your opponent's monster. Both of these, super handy. Once again, very luck stat heavy. That's what Joey's all about. And if you need effect damage, Hinotama, get that straight from Joey. I got 3 of them. I'm going to effect damage the Christ out of anybody. Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon. It has to be special summon with Metal Morph. So it's alright. You're basically adding Metal Morph to Red Eyes Black Dragon to get that. And then, of course, Exchange is pretty nice. It's kind of random. Obviously, your opponent may have nothing in their hand. They may have freaking the best card in the entire game. And so with I did say in the previous video that later on in mission level 48 you need a set number of cards. You need Dark Magician Girl, Blast Held by Tribute, Blue Eyes White Dragon, the Legendary Fisherman, and Barrel Dragon. Now that's only because they're unused for a mission level way at the end. What I didn't mention and didn't know until someone reminded me on Reddit, that Harpy Lady Sisters, they don't even appear. You can't get them from they're not a part of a mission yet. Maybe, we don't know. But you can't get it. So if you get rid of Harpy Lady Sisters, they're gone for good. Harper Ladies. And if you run that kind of deck, you want to keep it. And conversely, Harpy's Pet Dragon, super useful if you have them, which you cannot get from her, don't forget. I don't think you can get them at any level. No, they're definitely, like, the Harpy Lady Sisters are just, they're gone. They're gone, girls. Harpy Lady Phoenix Formation, I do have one. I don't use it, so take it or leave it. I don't know much about Mai and hers. I don't know about her cards, but Amazonas Sage. The Amazonas cards are pretty nice. Of course, I use one of these in my deck just because it blocks any damage. It's just a free hit. It could get destroyed very easily, but you know, it's still worth it in my opinion. And then to go with it, Amazonas Tiger, definitely the hard hitter besides Harpy Pet Dragon. So you have that if you're running that. Here you go with Dark Magician Girl, super useful if you're running a Dark Magician deck, because it does get more powerful. Just send them. I really want a Magician of Black Chaos card. I just want it to be given to us. I just want to get it so bad. Here, maybe you have a mission that wants you to heal, or win a duel with a certain amount of HP, life points, sorry. This one will definitely help you get a lot of SP. I can't talk today. I'm like talking non-stop. I've been talking at work. I've been talking on this video. Just, you know, slow it down a little bit. Magic formula. This gains 700 attack to Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl. And it also gives you life points. Not SP, not HP. I know. Sage's Stone. This is a pretty good card. I do like this. If you control Dark Magician Girl, you can literally just get a free Dark Magician on the field. If you have this and a Dark Magician Girl, and maybe even Cost Down. If you can play Cost Down, then use Dark Magician Girl, get Sage Stone, free Dark Magician. That sounds like a pretty quick duel to me. This one gives you life points depending on if you have more life points than your opponent, or you can take damage if you do have more. I don't know why you would do that, but maybe you have a reason. If you can explain to me why you want to lose 1,000 life points, by all means, please enlighten me. Now, I don't use a bug deck, and I haven't really worked on my Rex deck, but obviously Great Moth is an okay card. The only card I truly perfectly ultimate Great Moth with the 3,500 attack, pretty awesome. The only card that I find useful is Skull Mark Ladybug. Gives you 1,000 life points, definitely super handy if you're trying to heal, and you have mission levels that want you to heal. I do use Kisiatai, is that how you pronounce it? It looks like a parasite from the anime Parasite, but also not really. Migi does not look like Kisiatai. I don't know. Just me though, kind of Parasite-y is basically what it does. It just latches onto your opponent's monster and heals you every time. This is another card that I used to run. I haven't ran it in like a couple weeks. I was gonna say a couple months. The game's not even been out for like 2 months. I can't farm Rex because I don't have any yellow keys because I've been farming Ishizu so much, but he does have pretty... You need a Brachioradus. If you want to run a Rex deck, it is recommended to have this card. So definitely, I don't know why he's a water type. I haven't figured that one out yet. Obviously, you want two-headed King Rex. He is also super useful for a Rex deck and pretty much needed. Black Petra... It's okay. It just returns to your hand after it gets destroyed. It's a 3-star monster, so it could survive a Ladybug, 4-starred Ladybug of Doom. Mako, one of my favorite characters, of course. Legendary Fisherman, you need it. If you're running a water deck or a Levia Daedalus deck, Levia Dragon. No, it is Levia Daedalus Dragon. Yeah, you want Legendary Fisherman. He's pretty good. I have one. You do get 2. If you can get him to, like, I would think level 7 or 8, you get a free Legendary Fisherman, so... why would you not just take that? Orga Mega Fortress, Orca Mega Fortress of Darkness it's pretty good. I hate the card art for some reason, just because I don't understand, like, the man swimming next to him is probably about to perish, to put it nicely. I don't feel like he's going to survive that. And if you're running don't forget, if you're running a water deck, Great White, super handy. And Water Hazard, definitely something to consider. I have 2 of those. I didn't think I had 2 of those, but it looks like I do. Bandit Keith, one of my favorite to play as. It used to be Mako, now it's Bandit Keith. Barrel Dragon, just another, like, Bandit Keith and Joey are so similar with having so many luck-based cards, but Barrel Dragon gives you, like, the best luck. You can immediately destroy any monster you want by just flipping 2 coins. Well, you flip 3 coins, but you only need 2 that land on heads. Definitely recommend using him. You get him for free for unlocking Bandit Keith, so definitely something to consider. And if you have second coin toss, it does exactly what it says in the title. Lets you flip coins again if you fail. So, something to consider. Reload. I'm kind of on the fence with this because you're loading your hand into your deck and then just re-grabbing the same amount of cards that you're put in. It's okay, but it can be hard to use. Goblin Thief, it's basically, I'm going to take 500 of your life points and add them to mine. So another life point taking / healing for mission levels. Don't even get me started with Ishizu. Blast Hell by Tribute. I never used it. I put it in my deck, went like, I don't know, 20 duels with never using it, and I was like, I don't need this. Let's get rid of it. Not what you want to do. Not what you want to do. Don't get rid of it. Gravekeeper's Chief. Now that Gravekeeper's Oracle, I believe that's what it's called, was added to the trader, this card becomes more viable. Still, I'm not a Gravekeeper user, but if you want to run a Gravekeeper deck, something you may want to consider is all of her cards, basically. All these cards are super duper handy. Of course, you have the Hidden Temples of the Necro Valley. But this card is okay if you run a fairy type deck, just because you can put this in defense mode, it gets destroyed, and it rolls a 6, you're immediately summoning a level 6 monster. So it's very luck dependent, but it's super awesome. And Dark Piercing Light I really like, just because you're just, so you know, is basically Mind Scan from Pegasus. So something to consider. And I've already told you in depth, I love Odeon and I love Reverse Trap. You need this card. I don't care what anyone thinks. If you have Flash Assailant, go ahead, place this. Maybe someone has Mirror Wall on their side, you place this, boom. you're doubling your, well, you're like adding half of your attack to your own attack. But reverse trap, so handy. You also have Skull Invitation, which is basically every time you destroy a monster or send a card, like this is for someone who has a Wonder Balloon strat. If you can play Skull Invitation, this will deter your opponent from using Wonder Balloons because every card that they discard does 300 damage to them. So if you're looking for a counter to Wonder Balloons, Skull Invitation, definitely a high priority card. Then we have Millennium Scorpion. This card is almost like it's a 5-star Guardian Bow, but only 500 attack over 1,000 instead of 1,000. Every time you attack and destroy a monster, you get 500 attack. It's not a Guardian Bow, but it does start off already stronger, so it's easier to get the ball rolling rather than, you know, the ball is slowly being pushed, and then once you get like 2 kills with Guardian Bow, then you're flying. Then you can't even stop the magical train. I think we're going to go next to the shop, because it's really hard to talk about the shop. I'm going to talk about most of the URs and SRs and some other cards to look out for in the trader, but because I have to wait 2 hours before I could even show you different cards, I kind of just want to go off the top of my head and tell you what cards to look out for. Twin Barrel Dragon is probably number 2 on my list, and you may be wondering what number 1 is. I'll tell you in a second, though. Twin Barrel Dragon is super handy. It's a 4-star. You can throw it on the field right away, and like I said, if you're feeling lucky, you could use this card. You flip 2 coins, and if they both land on heads, it's an instant destruction of any card on the field. It could be a field spell, it could be a trap card, it could be a monster. Whatever you need to get out of your way, Twin Barrel Dragon has it for you. I say it's number 2 because number 1 holds the most priority in the game to me. Rear Yoku definitely is one of the best UR cards you can get from the trader, if not the best card, because it lets you kill any monster. It is a 100% guarantee you will destroy a monster unless they have a Twister to get rid of it, which I don't think. I actually don't know if Twister can destroy Rear Yoku. Oh my goodness, my words, they're failing me. What Rear Yoku does is basically it takes half of your opponent's monster's attack and puts that half onto your monster. So you're guaranteed to do whatever your monster does. So let's say your monster has 2,000 attack. Use Rear Yoku no matter what. You will do 2,000 damage if they're in attack mode. So Rear Yoku, 100% you should have. Big Shield Gardener, he's high up there. You know, he's got the defense. Obviously 2,600 defense is nothing to sneeze at, but he's immediately put into attack mode. So if your opponent has 2 monsters, he's just going to be wiped out immediately. I don't recommend using him. You can have him, but I do not have any place on any of my decks to have him, so that's just me. We're going to move over to what other cards we have, which is Obnoxious Celtic Guardian. I don't know why it doesn't finish. I can't even swipe to, you know, see that it's Celtic Guardian. This one's handy if you're fighting a monster that is tribute summoned, maybe a Blue Eyes White Dragon, but it can't be destroyed. I do believe it can still be attacked and you will lose a lot of life points, but it's an okay starter card. I wouldn't recommend it over Mystical Beast Cerberus or Blue Dragon Summoner, 2 cards we're about to talk about. But you could still get it if you want it. Jar of Greed, a good card, good R card if you're just starting off and you want to draw more cards. Jar of Greed can get your needs done. There was a rhyme in there. I totally messed it up. I should buy, while I'm here, you know what? Let's buy some yellow keys. So, 2 other cards I want to go over real quick. Mystical Beast Cerberus. You've seen the farming deck that I had. That if you want to farm, a Mystical Beast Cerberus is probably the earliest way, besides Guardian Bow, that you can start farming. And all that does is every spell card placed, whether it's yours or your opponent's, gives Mystical Beast Cerberus 500 attack, so he can stack up really high really fast. And then Blue Dragon Summoner, I wish I could just show you. Blue Dragon Summoner, he is okay. I give him a 7 out of 10. Once he's sent to the graveyard from the field, you can automatically summon any non-effect monster. So a monster that has the light tan colored card. So not Big Shield Gardener, any of these. Literally none of these. Those were all effect monsters. Thanks game. You can, like, Blue Eyes White Dragon, Axe Raider, Battle Ox. All those could be summoned. And it gets super useful, but it's up to you, really, what you want to do with it. that's basically what the trader has. The trader has a couple more cards, but off the top of my head, I cannot think of one to save me. We're going to go over now the packs. This is probably what everybody has been waiting for, so hopefully you clicked the annotation that brought you here. But, of course, if you're a ritual monster type of deck user, Sonic Bird will help you immensely. Something I definitely recommend. It doesn't have the best stats, but to get you the ritual monsters you need, definitely something to consider. And if you're using Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, Summoner of Illusions is something you want to look into, because once you have something on the field, and if you can get this flip off, you can tribute summon that monster and get Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon on the field for one turn, but that one turn should hopefully be enough to win you the duel. Hanahane, I like it. It's basically, I'm going to send your card away. So maybe they tribute summon the monster, and you can immediately just send it away. It's very satisfying. That's the only use. I wouldn't advise you to attack with it or anything. But here we go with kind of an alternative to throwing your opponent's monster into their hand is Sphere Karibo, one of my favorite cards. It just puts your opponent's monster into defense mode when it's about to attack. So it can save you. It's basically a one-turn save use. And if it's in the graveyard, you can use it as a part of your ritual summon. So that's one whole dang star that you may need to ritual summon. I don't know, Crab Turtle, whatever you're going to use. Of course, the most powerful card in the game, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, with a staggering 4,500 attack, 3,800 defense. Nothing I can say. Everyone loves this card. It's just hard to pull off. If you can pull it off, you're probably set. I like Autonomous. I switched it. I knew it's Autonomous. Autonomous Action Unit. For 1,500 life points, you're going to revive one of your opponent's monsters. So maybe he has Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon and he sacrificed it, or he discarded it for Wonder Balloons. You can just use Autonomous Action Unit to summon the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon to your field and you win the game, no doubt. I guarantee if you can do that, that's probably a win in the bag. Magic Jammer, I like it, but I don't like it. You have to discard a card. You have to discard one card to use it. It's alright. It's alright. And Magical Arm Shield I used for a while, but because it's like the circumstances are so... Most of the time you'll have monsters on the field. Not many times will you have one monster and they have multiple monsters, unless you're going to lose. This is probably a last-ditch effort, but it can definitely save you. I don't like it because it still damages your life points, and that's the kicker. That's what kicks you in the butt. All these SRs, I mean, you've probably gone through it and thought about it. All these SRs definitely have their place in some decks, but I'm going to go over just a couple of them, just because we're running low on time. 4-star Ladybug of Doom just clears the field. Put it into the defense mode or set mode, whatever you would like to call it, and wait for the enemy to attack. It may open up the field for you to get a direct attack in. Super duper handy. Wonder Balloons, obviously, if you have a deck that really relies on discarding cards, maybe you want to discard Dark Magician to power up Dark Magician Girl. Wonder Balloons will power you up and debuff or, power down your opponents. Of course, Shard of Greed, if you want to get more cards, place it down. 2 turns later, you get 2 cards. Super, super handy. Then you have Twister, which after a bunch of debating if I really like this card, I think I like this card. You only have to pay 500 life points, and you can target any face-up. Remember, if you remember my farming video from yesterday, you'll remember I don't know how to use Twister, and I'm an idiot. But you can get rid of a face-up trap or spell card, and boom. The game's your oyster. That's not how the saying goes, but you know what I meant. Wicked Breaking Flameberg of Bow. This one's for you, Helix. You definitely want to get this. I know someone trying to get this card, and he's having a really tough time. Obviously, the 500 attack is really nice, but negating the effects of a monster destroyed, that is what you want. That's why you get it, because you can negate all the effects of monsters that flip, that are sent to the graveyard. Just super, super handy. Messica the Cursed, effect damage. That's why I like this one. You can get some effect damage. It's got cool card art. It's really wacky. It's like, I don't know. His face is all like, I'm real sleepy, but that's kind of how I feel right now. Can I just do the rest of the video with my eyes closed? Because that's kind of how I'm feeling right now. I'm going to turn the volume up. No, I'm not. Just kidding. I don't know why I clicked it. Now you know I use an iPhone. Jeez Louise, Darmin. What are you thinking? You also stop them from attacking. It's so useful. I love it. And now there's plenty of R's and N cards, but I don't have time to go over them. So I'll really go over them real quick. Levia Dragon Daedalus. Blah, 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 blah. All done. You heard it. It's good. It's considered, this card will help you create the second best deck in the game. No doubt. If you're still watching this, which I have a hard time believing you made it this far, Michiziru is another great card. I have one. Super handy. It's a tit for tat card. You get a monster destroyed, you destroy their monster. I will always recommend Michiziru. I will also recommend a Yami ship because it destroys, it's basically a Michiziru because you don't get to choose like Michiziru, but Yami ship definitely takes out any monster that destroys it. And if you want to destroy a monster, just send Yami ship its way, destroy it. You lose life points, but it does destroy a super strong monster. I do like stray lambs. I called them stray sheeps earlier, didn't I? I think I did, for mystical box, not mythical box. Callbacks! Oh my goodness. Neo Impact has a lot of good cards, and it's going to be hard to pick and choose which ones I want to talk about. But of course, we have to talk about the OP Mirror Wall. Basically just drops your monster, your opponent's monster's attack by half. Super handy, super amazingly handy. You also have Black Pendant, which does effect damage when it's sent to the graveyard, but moreover, gives you 500 whole attack points. Love it. Double cost on, we've gone over Kaiser Seahorse. They're 2 tribute monsters in one with really good attack and defense stats. I would definitely recommend trying to get one of these if you run Blue Eyes White Dragon, or maybe if you run Dark Magician, or like me, if you run Barrel Dragon. And then for ritual cards, Garlandolf, the King of Destruction. He's a field wipe. You summon him, he wipes the field of face-up monsters, and basically is a direct attack. If your opponent doesn't have anything to stop it, it can cause lethal, like pretty fast. As for the SRs, I would consider Jerry Beans. I hate that it's not Jelly Beans. They really get you with his little jelly bean feet and his little jelly bean hands and his little jelly bean face and his jelly bean background and his blushing jelly bean face. I already said that. It's got 50 attack points more than X-Raider or Battle Ox, so he's got that little leg up, but he has no defense. He's 3 stars too, which kind of counters 4-star to Ladybug of Doom. I like that, but once again, his defense is really what kills it. And I think lastly, we're going to go over definitely Shooting Starbow. Sharding Starbow? The Shooting Starbow of CL. You just, 1,000 attack points gone to your opponent. Like, what are they going to do? Play Reverse Trap. That's what they're going to do. And then they're going to beat you. I think that's it. I've gone over every card I wanted to. This is a long-winded 30-minute episode. I just talked for 30 minutes straight. Oh my goodness. What time is it? Save me. If you enjoyed this episode, which I'm going to have a hard time believing, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Show me that you like this. I would be amazed. And if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to share it with your friends, because if it somehow enjoyed you, it may somehow, the video would enjoy you. It's been so long. This is what happens when you record for 30 minutes straight. You actually just fall asleep and you start talking all willy-nilly. Stay tuned, guys. Bye.